Good afternoon and welcome to another Q&A office hour and strategy call. I am Jeannie Petrucci, registered dietitian nutritionist, culinary coach, and expert nutrition content creator. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be covering goal setting for your practice. And after that brief conversation, we're going to move forward with some frequently asked questions. Over the past 4 weeks, I hope you all had a wonderful break and a splendid holiday with your friends and family. I am just going to check my tech here really quickly just to make sure that you can hear me. Let's see here. Oh, looks like we're good. All right, welcome. Just to double check, for those of you who are joining me already, if you can just drop a note for me in comments with a thumbs up that you can see and hear me okay. Just want to make sure everything is good. So we're good to go. Today's Q&A office hour and strategy call will begin with a conversation about being a goal getter. So there is a lot of talk right now about setting personal goals and professional goals, business goals, and it can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to do. I really take a very simple approach to goal setting, both for myself and my practice and my business. I just find like setting annual goals is just, it's way too difficult for me. If you can set annual goals and kind of map out a way to get there, good for you. For me, it's just a little bit more manageable if there are certainly some high level goals that I have for my business, but setting quarterly goals just chunks things up into very consumable, pun completely intended, goal setting. So, thank you so much. Okay, everybody can hear me. Great. Tanika, Hillary, thank you for joining me. Lisa, great. So setting quarterly goals can be really simple, effective way to make small steps forward, which of course, by the end of the year will then accumulate to great progress. So one of the ways that, in addition to setting quarterly goals, one of the ways that you can keep it really simple for yourself is to use a process that you're already familiar with. And for my registered dietitian colleagues who are on, or people who have been trained in health behavior change, there is a process, an evidence-based process that we use in practice with our clients to get them to take action to meet their goals. It's literally no different for business. Like, obviously the goals are a little bit different, but the process is the same. So let's start with a process that we already know, and then we can all be goal getters. Hey, Innie, good to see you here. Oh, Innie, I love the videos, by the way. Sorry, guys. Innie and I are going to have a little private conversation now, although it is relevant to all of our members. Innie actually produced some videos for us, some culinary videos for us with Betsy Ramirez, and they're going to be dropped in the February content drop. So super excited. Innie, thank you for all of your work and all of your efforts. Okay, so starting with a process that you know. Let me just hide this here. Great. I'm going to hide this here too. Great. Perfect. So let's start with applying a process that we know. Who knows what this is? Registered dietitian friends, just tell me what the A means in ADIME. So ADIME is a process that registered dietitians are trained in. Now, I just became a registered dietitian 6 years ago. And I think that ADIME was really adopted into practice maybe 10, 15 years ago. If you've been a dietitian for a very long time, you used to keep like soap notes. But ADIME is an evidence-based way to provide nutrition care. And I just found it so effective to use when setting business goals. So somebody tell me what the A stands for. Yes, assess. Very good. So the first step in setting goals is to assess where you are. Where is your business at right now? So you're going to assess, you're going to diagnose, you're going to intervene, monitor, and evaluate. That is what the ADIME, let me just turn off this ticker here. Okay, that is what ADIME stands for. You're going to assess your business. You're going to diagnose what's working, what's not working. You're going to then create an intervention. The intervention actually is the goal. It are the goals. So what are the goals that you're going to set for your business that you can take action on to move you forward. And then you're going to monitor and evaluate your progress, right? Full circle, this is the best way to set goals for your business. So let's start with the assess and diagnose piece of it. And if you have any questions kind of as we go along, Tracy, yes, assess. That was the A. So assess and diagnose, I lumped together because they do kind of blend. Let me just pull up my notes here because I don't want to miss a bit for you. Done. Okay. Great. Okay, so first step, you're going to assess and diagnose. You're going to just take a step back. It doesn't have to be like a whole day thing. Just take a few hours out of your day. This month would be a great time to do that. And take a look at your business and just kind of get a pulse on the current state of it. There are some key metrics that you're going to want to think about. So, overall, you want to say, am I where I want to be? Which is just kind of like high level emotional thinking about, is my business where it wants to be? But then you want to get pretty specific. So remember, when you're assessing clients and when you're assessing patients, you're getting really specific. You're collecting data, right? So like biometrics and things like that. So I'm going to continue to draw the parallel here to ADIME. So you're going to look at some key metrics. Now, what's really cool is that the key metrics really align with what my hard messaging is for all of our community for 2023. And that is, to have a healthy business, you have to attract, serve, and retain your ideal clients. Attract, serve, and retain them. You have to do those three things to have a healthy business. So what are the metrics that you're going to look at to understand, how am I doing with attracting my ideal clients? One of the things you're going to look at is website traffic, right? Because that's where a lot of people are going to find you, especially if you are in private practice and you have bricks and mortar on the ground and, people are driving by your office or people are being referred to you. The first thing they're going to do is Google you, or they're going to go to Healthgrades, and they're going to end up on your website. So what does your website traffic look like? One of the metrics. Another metrics is social media. Now, social media, it's less about the number, because that's vanity. Largely, it's a vanity metric. But, are your ideal clients engaged, right? So if you have like 1,500, followers, but you have really high engagement, that's what you want to measure. You don't want to be like, oh, I only have 1,500 followers, my business isn't healthy. Has nothing to do with the health of your business, right? But if you are putting content out there and you're getting engagement, likes, shares, comments, DMs, people are reaching out to you, that's the kind of key metric you want to take a look at in this assessment process. Oh, hi, Martha. Thank you for joining us. Then you'd like to take a look at partnerships. So this is still in that area of, am I doing a good job attracting my ideal customer avatar? Website traffic, social media engagement, partnerships. Do I have referring physicians or, other interdisciplinary partners referring clients to me? If you don't, you're missing a huge opportunity to improve metrics for your business. So I encourage you to take a look at that. What kinds of partnerships do you have established where you are going to get clients referred to you? And it doesn't always have to be on the ground, right? It can be virtual as well. Then you want to take a look at, and those aren't all the metrics. Those are just samples. I'm just giving you samples. Otherwise, we'd be here all day. So attracting. Now let's move on to serving. How good are you doing at serving your clients? So client satisfaction is like the number one, right? The number one metric that you can take a look at. And it's, could be something as simple as saving, because this is what I do. Saving kind of the love notes you get, the testimonial emails that you get, like, oh my gosh, working with you has been transformative. I just love this program. I'm sure that you all get those kinds of love notes, right, in your email box. And it's great. Or even DMs or on a private Facebook group or your public Facebook page. You want to document those. So create a folder, if you haven't already, create a folder in your Drive or somewhere, Dropbox or a Word document, doesn't really matter, where you can house those types of comments. And that's going to allow you to have a really good idea of how you're serving your clients. And it's not all positive either. So if you're getting constructive feedback from your clients, your patients, you have to note that too, because that lets you know how well am I serving my clients. Things like also email open rates. If you're sending out an email weekly and your open rate is like 2-3%, your clients aren't as engaged as they need to be. Like a really satisfied, engaged client is going to be opening up your email. So you want to look for, I don't know, like above a 20-25%. I think that's pretty average. So, that's good. So taking a look at your emails and your open rates. Client service inquiries. Are you getting a lot of people not necessarily complaining, but noting like, I can't log in, I can't do this, I can't, these are the things that I'm working through myself. That's why the login and that the technology piece of it is coming to me. But when you're getting customer inquiries, like these frequently asked questions, you need to document them. And so in addition to, like, again, those love notes that you want to document, you also want to document, what are people really struggling with, and how can you better serve them? Right. So that's a huge thing that I'm working on this year for you guys, is to really improve your experience using our platform and our materials. Because that for me was a metric I took a look at in 2022. I was like, I got to do better. And so taking a look at FAQs, but you can't take a look at them and you can't take a look at inquiries and emails if you're not documenting them. So if you haven't done that yet, that's maybe the first goal that you set for yourself, is actually documenting that. Oh, Sonia is popping in. Hi, Sonia. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Sonia is power walking and listening. I love it. That's great, Sonia. Jen is saying, always appreciate your Q&As. That's great. So Jen, I'm glad you brought that up, because holding these Q&A office hour and strategy sessions was my response. And this was 2022. So in 2022, I made two really important decisions that affected the way that I serve my existing community. Number one was to commit to doing monthly content drops and that also impacted my revenue too. But really serving my clients, commit to monthly content drops. Commit to a weekly Friday newsletter where my community could look forward to just at least hearing from me every Friday on different topics. So those were two really important decisions that I made. And of course, actually, there's a third one, which is conducting these Q&A office hour strategy calls, like really committing, saying, I am doing these twice a month. So again, if you're not already documenting how you're serving your clients and different key metrics, that get to that right now. And then even by February, you can start taking action on it. You don't have to wait for a whole year to go by. So just make sure that you get some data that you can act on. And, as you act, it's very fluid. You're not going to act and solve a problem and then it's gone, right? You're going to attempt to solve issues and to improve how you serve your clients. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. And that's just the name of the game. Okay, and then retaining clients. Remember, attract, serve, retain. Those are the three pillars you need to think about kind of every time we talk. So how are you going to be retaining your clients? And how are you going to measure if you're retaining your clients or not? So sometimes it's really easy. You could just go into your appointment scheduler. So you can go into Acuity or Calendly or your EHR, like Healthy Your Practice Better, and take a look. Like, how many of my clients are coming back to see me? Now, it's never going to be 100% ever, but it should be above 50%. So 50% or more. So 50% of the clients that come to see you are continuing to engage with you in some way. So not all of your clients are going to go through every program, over and over and over again. Not all of your clients are going to continue to need counseling. They're just going to continue to need your support. So, take a look at your client retention numbers. You're also going to take a look at new client numbers. So how many new clients have you gained, in your practice? And again, my practice, when we were at like really heavy growth, we were almost always 50-50, like maybe a little bit more because we were a newer practice on the client acquisition side. So maybe it was like 55-60%, and then, maybe a little bit less on the client retention. But it should always be that way. You don't want to be 80% new clients, 20%, returning clients. That's exhausting. That is like an exhausting place to live. You really kind of want them to meet in the middle. Is that making sense to everybody? All right, Natasha is saying, good to see you in the new year. You too. You guys are just so great. Love it. Okay. And that, all right, so we covered that. New client numbers, client retention, and then of course, revenue growth. That I just kind of left that for last because that kind of covers everything. That when you are attracting, serving, and retaining your ideal clients, you will get revenue growth. It'll take care of itself. That's the cool thing, right? You don't have to always focus on, I need to make more money. I mean, of course you do, because you want to have practice growth, but increasing revenue is not a behavior. So now let's think as healthcare and wellness professionals, right? Behaviors. You want to start thinking about what behaviors can you engage in that will promote revenue growth. Everything that we just talked about will lead to that. All right. So also, we're still in assess and diagnose. You want to take a look at your lilies and your thorns, right? If any of you have ever played that game, right? The lilies are really the things that fulfill you, and the thorns are the things that don't, right? They're really usually emotionally draining. You just don't want to deal with them. So what I mean by this is identify in your practice what is working and what isn't. If you continue to pursue things that aren't working and at the end aren't generating revenue, you're stealing time away from the lilies. Like you're like draining the pond. I just came up with that. It's pretty good. You're draining the pond for the lilies, right? You need to get rid of as many thorns as possible and really nurture the lilies. And now there are going to be some things that kind of fall in the middle, but there are going to be things that are, polarized here. So let's take a look at it. So identify what's working and what isn't. It's always helpful to put, think of it in pillars, like what pillars are involved in your practice. And by that, I mean like technology, right? So we all need to use technology in our practice. We all need to have content for our practice. Now, the content used to be a thorn. Now the content mostly is the lilies. And I say mostly because if you're still learning to use all of the things that Living Plate RX membership, gives to you, it can be sometimes a thorn in your side, but ultimately it's a lily because it's saving you just like mammoth amount of time. And so, that really becomes the lily. But just think of your pillars. So technology, content, team members, right? If you have team members that aren't performing, or you've hired a VA and it's just not working out, you need to assess that and diagnose the problem and say, okay, I'm either going to keep it or I'm not. Social media platforms, like what's working, what's not. Take a look at it. You don't have to be everywhere all the time, but if you're just getting started, you might be active across multiple social media platforms. So just take a look at it and decide, I'm going to ignore Pinterest. I'm going to ignore YouTube for this quarter. And I'm just going to go all in on Instagram, or I'm going to go all in on Facebook. Marketing efforts, what's working, what's not. If you're running Facebook ads, are they working? If you are, marketing to interdisciplinary partners and it's not working, why? And so that's another pillar that you want to take a look at, marketing efforts. Standard operating procedures. This is a big one for me this year. I've actually hired an online business manager, 2 of them actually, because we have a lot of procedures in our business. And right now I'm the one kind of managing it. So doing a lot of juggling. We need to get all of these operating procedures out of my head and onto paper. And I strongly recommend that you do that too. So if you don't already have standard operating procedures for your business, then you need to do that. And we can do a training on that. Actually, it's going to be a good training for this year. Programs and offers, what's working, what's not, what's selling, what isn't. Now, if something isn't selling, it doesn't necessarily, and it's a thorn, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of it, but it means you have to take action on it. And then lastly, but actually most importantly, your schedule, your quality of life. Are you at where you want to be? Are you spending the right amount of time in your business for the goals that you want to achieve? Okay. Then for each item in this pillar, so I just named a couple: technology, team members, social media platforms, marketing efforts, standard operating procedures, programs and offers, and your schedule. For each one of these pillars, you're going to want to take a look at what is providing the biggest return on your investment, right? So if something is a thorn, like potentially a thorn, but it's not taking up a lot of your time, like don't bother taking action on it. But if it's a thorn and it's a huge time suck or it's a huge resource suck, it's time to say goodbye. What is draining you, both financially and emotionally? Something's costing you a lot of money and it's not hitting, numbers, you have to let it go. As much as, as difficult as that might be. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I think it was 2 years ago, we partnered with brands. Now, our digital meal planning service that all of our members use, our proprietary planner, it's very valuable real estate for food brands. And there are food brands that my community uses with confidence very frequently. So it would be great to have key food brands available that you could just click and drag into client calendars and even food delivery services, right? So it was a great idea. And financially, it actually was terrific, but it was a huge time suck for me. Because whenever you're working with brands, if any of you work with brands, you have to be really accountable, like really accountable. You have to hit numbers and provide reports. And it was taking me away from what I needed to do. So I ended brand partnerships about 2 years ago. Good news is we're going to potentially be bringing them back probably by the end of this year, simply because my community is saying we need to have some key brands in our meal planners. So we're going to try and make that happen for you. But that was one where I had to say goodbye to really good revenue simply because I knew in my soul, like I needed to pivot. It wasn't fulfilling emotionally. It was taking my time away from what I really wanted to do. Now you're at the point in the process where you can start prioritizing. So if something is working, the next question is, how can I amplify it? How can I do more of that? For what isn't working, do I fix it or do I ditch it? For both of these questions, you need to ask yourself, do you have the resources? Now, resources can be, it's always time or money, right? Do you have the time, the money, and also the support, right? Do you have a community around you? Our members always have support from me and all of our colleagues. But do you have the time and the support and the finances necessary to take the actions that you need to take? Because that, if something is working, but amplifying it is not going to work because you're limited in time, you're limited in support, or you're limited in financial resources to make that happen, you might not be able to do that. So quite a bit to think about here. By the way, this conversation that we're having, I have outlined in my Friday email that I sent out last week. Active Campaigns had a major tech crash, so there were all kinds of things wrong with that email, but it did go out and it is readable. So go ahead and look for it because all of the things that we're talking about here are nested inside of that email. So now we come to the intervention part. Now, the intervention is actually going to be the goal setting, like the goals that you're going to be setting. Let me just pop into comments here to see. Some comments here. Sonia is saying, I'm hustling to market my next program, and my goal for January was to use Living Plate RX content posting and offer freebies. Not getting visibility though, and about 80% returns and 80% return clients and 20% new. Okay, well, so that's a metric that you can work with then, and then really, working with me and my community to kind of get those ratios where you need them to be, Sonia. We're always here for you. And yes, you don't need to be everywhere all the time. You really just need to focus in. And this is that part of the amplifying piece, Sonia. So if there is one space in your practice that is working, maybe it's not social media at all. Maybe it's referring partners. Go all in on that for a quarter and see what kind of impact that has. Oh, hi, Muriel. Good to see you. Jada, Sandra, thank you for joining me. All right, so now we're moving on to the intervention part. The intervention part for goal setting, right? The intervention for your clients is the care program that you put together for them. The intervention for your business, it's going to be goal setting. There's a difference between a results goal and an action goal, right? A results goal is going to be something like, I want to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram. That is a result, right? It's not an action that you can take. Now, there are plenty of actions that you can take to help you get there, but be careful when you set your goals to make sure that there's something that you can actually take action on, because it won't happen unless you can break it down that way. And I think so often when we think about goals for our business, oh, I want to hit this certain number of revenue, or I want to hit, a certain number of followers on social media, or even a certain number of clients. That's great, but you really have to break it down into actionable steps to help you get there. So my recommendation, and we talked about this earlier, is to set quarterly goals. Just, let go of the annual goal, just set quarterly goals for yourself. Maybe if you're just getting started, maybe 3 or 4 will be good, but it's going to depend on the size and the complexity of your practice. So set up your quarterly goals so that they just seem a little bit more attainable. Prioritize the actions that you want to take. So based on the assessment, the diet and diagnosis, right, you're going to know what are my priorities, right? If my priority is to amplify what's already working, that's what I'm doing, and that's the example I'm going to be showing you, then that should be goal number 1. Don't be rigid though. So you're going to set these goals. So let's say you're going to set 3 goals, and things change, right? Like 2020, COVID happened. Who knew? And everything had to change, right? Most goals went out the window and you had to reconfigure everything. So just give yourself the grace to kind of practice this process of goal setting. You can have confidence in the process because it definitely works. But sometimes you're going to miss on setting a goal, or an action, might not work right. So just give yourself grace because things always change. So the intervention is going to be the actual goal that you're going to set. And then you're going to obviously evaluate it. Let's go here. You're going to monitor and evaluate. Now, the only way that you can monitor and evaluate a goal is if the goal is created properly and in an evidence-based way. There's a little bit of controversy surrounding setting SMART goals, but I still like SMART goals. And if you set a SMART goal, so the SMART goal system we actually use in our programming with clients, it allows them to set a goal that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Those are that's the SMART goal acronym, right? So it has to be specific. So often we have clients like, yes, I'm going to eat healthier. Well, that's none of those things, right? A good example of a SMART goal for nutrition counseling would be, I am going to make the white bean dip this week to serve with vegetables for my family, or I'm going to do it by Friday. It's like really specific. The more specific you get with your goal, and it takes some practice doing that, the easier it's going to be to monitor and evaluate it, right? Because it has to be measurable. So if your goal is to, take action by the end of January, then okay, well, you're monitoring along, it's January 29th now, monitoring, am I going to make it? Maybe not. Maybe I need to reset it. Or I'm mid-January now, I'm going to monitor my progress, I'm on pace. And then once you've met the goal, you can evaluate it, and you can evaluate, did my actions align with my goal, and did it have the impact on my business that I was looking for it to do? Okay. Kathy Levin says, I use SMART goals all the time with my clients. It wasn't until you sent the email on Friday that I thought about doing that in my business. That's amazing, Kathy. See, that makes my day right there. That is going to be copied and put into my happy email file, my testimonial file. Kathy, I love that. So if you're not setting SMART goals, it's going to be really hard to monitor and evaluate. And I do think that's where a lot of people go wrong. They're not specific enough. They don't measure things properly. They don't have time bounds assigned to their goal setting. And then also, is it attainable? Is it reasonable? Right? Like, oh, I want to get to 150,000 followers on Instagram. Well, that's ridiculous. Could it happen? Sure. But I don't have the time or the resources to put into to achieve that. So, really thinking about something that is attainable. What can you do? Can I get 5 new clients this month? Everybody on this call can get 5 new clients this month, probably without much effort. But if you can find something in your assessment that has been working to get new clients, then double down on that, right? One of the things that I did when I was in private practice were community cooking demos. I knew exactly how many people in that room were going to end up calling. I didn't know who they were, but we had a percentage, about 10% of everybody who attended a cooking demo, a live cooking demo at either a doctor's office or the oncology center where we used to work. 10% of those people or more were going to be calling our office for an appointment. And that's significant, whether it was 100 people or whether it was 10 people in the room, because each client, I knew, this is another metric that you can take a look at on the revenue side. What is the lifetime value of a client for you in your practice? You have to know that number. You have to know that number. So once you have a client in your practice, what does it mean annually? For us, it was about $1,000 to $1,200 a year. So if I did a cooking demo and 10 people came in, that's a good chunk of change for one night's work, right? So anyhow, so make sure that you're setting SMART goals so that you can monitor and evaluate. So now I just want to do a screen share to show you. If you haven't seen the Friday email, make sure you go into your email, your inbox, and take a look for it because this worksheet is there for you. So let me open it up here. I'm just going to be on a different screen, so just be patient with me for a second. And then we're going to dive into some really juicy stuff. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And let's share this window here. Perfect. All right, I'm actually going to, can I hide my video? Let's see here. You know what? I'm not going to do that right now because I'm afraid I'm going to lose you. Okay, so there is a link to this quarterly action plan. It's inside of Canva. So you can print it and handwrite it if you want to go old school, or you can just use it inside of Canva. And maybe I can blow this up a little bit and then you can see it better. Move this down. And is that better? Oh yeah, there you go. That worked. Awesome. Love it when technology cooperates. All right, so this is the actual sheet that you got access to. So it's a quarterly action plan. It helps you set SMART goals. Now, I didn't create the worksheets for like assessing and diagnosing the pillars of your practice, but I actually think I'm going to be doing that for our special event at the end of this month. So if you're a member of our community, you'll be getting access to that. But once you assess and you diagnose and you're ready to start creating your SMART goals, just start jotting things down, like just vomit ideas on paper. What are the goals that you want to achieve in your practice based on what the work that you just did? So here's just one example, right? I want to partner with blank, a physician's name. It can be that specific. Trust me, if you're a private practice, like practitioner, a solo practice, you only need 2 to 3 physicians who refer to you regularly. And it's not that hard to find. You just have to find the right person. For me, it was always the practitioner who was food is medicine kind of minded. So partner with a physician to establish 5 new referrals each month. Again, knowing the lifetime value of a patient or a client, you'll know kind of what your return is going to be on this. So think about what are the tools and support I need to start taking action. So don't even start thinking about the actions yet. Start thinking about what are the potential tools that I'm going to need. I'm going to need a letter that I can send, or a letter that I can use as even a phone script if I'm calling this partner, or I'm sending a fax because a lot of physicians still use fax. Referral forms, and I put an LPRX next to the tools and support that you need for success because we actually provide those for our members. The referral process, what is the actual process that I need to have in place to manage referrals? So you can't just go to a physician and say, yep, I'm going to take care of your patients for you. Okay, well, how am I going to refer them to you? How are you going to follow up with them? And then how are you going to report back to me on the results? So we cover that process for you. And then do you have an EHR for documentation of referrals? If you're going to work with an interdisciplinary partner, physician specifically, you will need an EHR, electronic health record system, or practice management software that is HIPAA compliant. So that's one of the essential tools that you're going to need here. Then to the right, you can see actions. All right. And there's like kind of little check boxes, and you can add dates if you want. I really wanted to keep it as general as possible, really just for practice. So actions that you're going to need to take. Research physicians that serve my ideal customer avatar. One of the best resources that I ever had for doing this. And again, once we found our like 2 to 3 referring physicians, who the dietitians who used to work here at Living Plate still work with them. We didn't need any more. That was plenty for us. But to research physicians kind of in your area, they always do I think it's a Conley report, like a top docs of whatever. So top doctors in your area, you go right for those food as medicine practitioners who are in your niche, who serve the same people. So I see Maggie, you're on with me. Maggie is a PCOS dietitian. So working with fertility docs or women's health docs, that's going to be X marks the spot. So you literally can see the list of them. So you send out a certain number of emails, you send out a certain number of letters, faxes, you're going to get responses, especially if you use the letter that was in our December content drop. Or was it January? I don't remember. It's in the library now, but it's a good one. Then editing this interdisciplinary letter, that's an action. That's actually something that you can do. So check, I've done that. Send, deliver, fax a letter to potential partners. I've done that. Coordinate a meeting. I've done that. Coordinating a meeting with a partner, it's not always easy. A lot of times you're working with a practice manager. And this doesn't have to be a physician, by the way. This could be like a personal trainer next door who wants to refer people to you. Follow up with the process of beginning to accept referrals and then report patient success to partner. So hope this is all making sense. I'm going to show you one of the goals that I have set for my business on the next slide. Natasha, can the referral form that is in the library be used for all insurances, Medicare and commercial? Yes. Natasha, it's actually not, you can use it for anything. It's helpful for insurance because we have the ICD-10 codes on there, but you can really use it for insurance or non-insurance. Concierge doctors can use that too. I think even if they don't take insurance, they still document the ICD-10 codes. So they're really useful in practice. So let's take a look at, let's see, just make sure that you're able to see this. Yes, you are. Okay, I'm going to open this up, blow this up a little bit so you can see. Okay, so this is one of my goals for this year. And this one, I kind of put together in December because my launch is coming up. We're going to talk about that at the end of this month. So the SMART goal is conduct a live launch for each quarter of 2023. Now, a live launch includes a lot. This is a kind of a short list, but it'll give you an idea. This SMART goal here is just for January, but I am going to repeat this. So one of the things that you need to think about when you're creating a goal is this is something that can be replicated in the future. So it's time bound. I'm going to do it by January, the end of January, but can I do it in February, March, April, May? That's why measuring, monitoring, and evaluating how it worked out is really important, because if it worked, you want to keep doing it, right? Amplifying it. So the tools that I need: marketing agency, copywriter, I need Stripe, PayPal, ClickFunnels connections, a lot of moving parts, StreamYard, Zoom. And then here are some of the actions that I needed to take. I need to produce 3 fresh creatives for ads, like videos and copy for that. I needed to write an email sequence, create landing pages. Actually, I can put a check mark there because I just did that yesterday. Create the landing page and thank you page with the upsell on it. Create the slide deck and experience, which I'm doing next week. Create the materials and then format my pro session experience. Now, the date for this event is January 24th. So I need to start moving along my action list here pretty quickly. Sonia is saying, what do you offer to referring partners? Oh, Sonia, that's a really great question. You can't offer anything to referring partners. It's illegal. It's illegal. So you can, bring them something nice for their staff always appreciates. I used to do breakfast bars. I used to come in and put out, like oatmeal and maple syrup and chocolate chips and fresh fruit and nuts and seeds and hemp seeds, all kinds of really cool stuff. They actually loved that. And that was less expensive than sending them sandwiches. But you can't have a monetary exchange for partnerships. So be careful. Because be careful. The physicians won't accept it anyway. But their offices are really happy to accept food and nice gestures as well. Sometimes I do something as simple as, if I have a physician who is referring regularly, I would send like one of those edible arrangements, thank you from Living Plate, from the team at Living Plate, something like that. So those things you can do, like gestures, but you can't have a reciprocal financial arrangement. Okay, so let's move on to some really cool stuff. Have you guys seen this yet? Who Who has downloaded the content creation calendar? If you have not, you are missing out big time. All of our members have access to this, but the general community also has access to this. So if you are joining me on this call and you are not a Living Plate RX Prime member, you need to get your hands on this content creation calendar. Please DM me and I will send it to you. There was actually, let me just go here. I'll show you on my Instagram page. Meggie is saying it is amazing. Yes. It's like crazy amount of content. Let me just see where it is. Okay, here's I'm going to share my screen with you. So you actually don't reach out to me because I'm going to show you where you can get it. You're going to go to my Instagram account, which is here. So here's my Instagram account. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see this gift box here. Click on that. And there are directions for how you can access this content calendar. It is about $2,900 worth of content. So today was a really good day to join our call if you're not already a member. And if you are a member, just go ahead and you can type gift in comments and it'll be automatically delivered to you. I'm going to take you on the inside to show you what that looks like. But this was just really, this was a really great decision. It was a little scary. One of the goals for January was to increase my list for retargeting ads for Facebook ads. And one of the best ways to do that is offer a really valuable opt-in. This is insane value. And again, it was a little scary because I'm giving away a lot, but you know what? It's such a small fraction of what our members get access to. I was like, oh, what the heck? Let's just do it. And it paid off big time, right? Like thousands of people have downloaded this and it's going to work out because we're going to have them join our live event in January and hopefully, and not hopefully, but definitely some of them will become members because I have the metrics on that. I know what's going to happen. Natasha is saying this gift box is so cool. Did you do that? Oh, the graphic? Yeah, I did. I did that. You can do that on Canva. It's so easy. You just go to Elements and search. I searched gift box video, and I had like half a dozen to choose from. Yeah, and then I just added the content here in the middle. A gift for you. Yeah. So have fun with that experiment, Natasha. Maybe I'll put that in the content drop this month because it's really good for giveaways. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look on the inside of the calendar. I just want to make sure you can see it. Yep, I'm going to blow it up just a little bit because it's a little hard to see here. Okay. All right, so this is the content creation calendar. The reason why I shared this was to really operationalize and illustrate what evidence-based practice looks like when you apply it to social media and when you apply it to not really social media, content creation. This is not a social media calendar. This is a content creation calendar. It can be a social media calendar and everything in it can be used on social media, but I want you to think bigger than just social media because you need content in all areas of your practice. And so I created this content calendar as a way for you, and you can set goals here, right? As a way for you to see what it looks like, when you actually organize all of this content and start creating it for your practice, like meeting your goals with content creation. So here we have the calendar glossary. I have a little video here that you can watch to get started. And then you're just going to follow these 7 steps. Let's take a look at what the calendar looks like. And this is a living document. So you make a copy of it. So you're going to get this calendar, you're going to type in gift, you're going to get the calendar, and then you're going to get busy editing it. So this is like just a suggested content calendar. All of the content is in here. So you could duplicate this and do it for February as well. The National Nutrition Days, you're definitely going to want to change a little bit, but you'll get the idea. So you'll see up here to the right, we have the pillars of evidence-based content, nutrition education, culinary education. The Connect and Coach is really the medical nutrition therapy and kind of the personal connection, inserting you into the process. Some how-to niche related, like how to make, a PCOS friendly dinner or a PCOS friendly dessert is a good example. We plugged in some holidays, food nutrition days, and then we also plugged in time for you to do a special event. So you know what? I just want to pause here for 1 second. I'm going to be doing an entire social media post on this. This is really important, so I want to get your attention here. the introduction of artificial intelligence or like AI generated content, that was a mouthful, AI generated content should scare you, not because of the content itself, but because so many people now, like people with much less talent than you guys have, are going to be able to generate content on anything, right? And they're going to be able to appear as experts when they really aren't, because they have access to this AI generated content, right? They can just plug in a topic and generate a blog post as if a professional wrote that blog post. So that is what you should be afraid of, right? Because there's going to be this huge influx of content that's not good, but the general public isn't necessarily going to know that, right? But here's the good news. Nobody can duplicate you, right? There is not an AI you. So you need to insert yourself even more into getting in front of your ideal customer avatar. So on your social media, in your marketing, you have to insert more of yourself. The best way to do that is video. So if you are not comfortable with video, I just strongly encourage you to set that as like your number one goal for January, because I promise you it is going to be much more difficult for our community and our colleagues to stand out if all you're doing is pushing out content, right? You need to take that content, you need to infuse it with your brand, you need to make it your own, and you need to insert yourself as much as possible. Hillary is saying this AI is so insane. Yeah, and it's free. Right? So it could be anybody. You don't even have to have a certificate in nutrition. Like you can just write a blog post on how to manage blood sugar for pre-diabetes, and out it comes, and you can publish it. So yeah, it's a little scary, but I think that we can. I don't think it's going to ruin things for everybody. I think that if you don't react, it could. And the best way to react is to insert yourself. You have to be your brand. I can't say that enough. So I am going to be adding extra support for our community on all things related to this. Like, how can you make your brand stand out? Now, we give you all of this content, but just taking that content and pushing it out like kind of as is isn't going to work. Might have worked in the past, but it's not going to work. You need to make it your own. You need to insert yourself. I am experimenting a lot with this on my own social media account to see kind of what formats will work in terms of mixing kind of a video of myself followed up with the content, or a cooking video followed up with the content. That's how you're going to differentiate your brand, and that's how you're going to seem different and really elevate yourself as the expert, right? So it's going to be a battle, but we're game for it. We're ready. Okay, so let's get back to this content calendar. Enough doom and gloom. All right, so let's go back here. So the content calendar. So go into this content calendar, start clicking these links. The links will take you to content that is already created. So edit it, brand it, make it your own. Now, you don't necessarily, as far as AI content, here's some more good news. Most of the AI content that you're going to be seeing is going to be out in public, right, on social media. So, pay attention to that. But in your practice, you don't need to go crazy editing the content, right? So your clients who are coming to see you, and you're giving them a handout that is coming from your library with just your brand on it, you don't need to go crazy on that one. But if you are doing a social media post, you need to pay more attention to that, because that's where it's going into the public domain, where you're going to be competing with the kind of the AI generated content. Is that making sense, everyone? Just let me drop a note, makes sense. Okay. Okay, terrific. Yep, I agree. Natasha's saying, I'm struggling to create reels. Is there a how-to video in Canva or in the Academy? There's a lot of support for how to create reels. So I'm a little hesitant to spend my time educating our community on that. If you literally just go to YouTube, how to create my first reel, something's going to come up. In the Academy, I do provide you with a resource list. So there are kind of key leaders in the area of social media and reels production, and they provide like really easy how-to tips. But you don't have to go crazy, Natasha. You really can just take out your phone and videotape yourself. It doesn't have to be lip syncing to a trending audio. You can actually do just a brief 15-second or 30-second video of yourself talking about a topic that is of interest to your ideal customer avatar. Always really great on Reels to give a takeaway and have a strong call to action. Okay, there are some reels with a template button where you can do the same reel. Yes, Elif is saying that you can use a template. That's correct. So if you find a reel, if you're scrolling through Instagram and there's a sound that you like, and you see a little template button, that's a great place to start, actually. So thank you for recommending that. Natasha, you can look for reels that have templates, and you can use that audio, and it'll tell you, upload 3 images to these different boxes, and it'll recreate the video for you. That's perfect. We have another question. How do we access the content calendar inside the portal? I don't know if I included a link in the library yet, but I'll do that today. For now, you can just go to Instagram and comment gift, and you'll get access to it. Hillary is saying all videos turn into reels. Yep, just speak to the camera and you're golden. Love that, Hillary. You cannot go wrong with bringing your authentic self every single time, right? So if you mess up, doesn't matter. Just hold your camera, be authentic, share something really important and relevant to your ideal customer avatar, and you're going to be good. Just get started. And if you do a reel and you don't like it, don't delete it. Just keep it up and just keep producing more. That's the best way to go. All right, so the content creation calendar, go for it. Like tons and tons of content here for you guys. I just wanted to show you what my social media calendar looks like. So at the bottom of the content creation calendar, the one that I just showed you, there's a blank calendar at the bottom here. So you should edit your content creation calendar by month, but then to create another month, just go to the blank calendar here and duplicate it. So you can just duplicate the process over and over and over again. Really, honestly, by month 3, you're going to be a pro. If you need help with that, get a VA, a social media VA, to help you with that. And we are supporting our community with that as well, with referral to a company who's going to be supporting us with that. So here is my Living Plate social media calendar. I do have a social media calendar VA, so she populated this for me. I gave her this. I said, I want you to do this with this month's content drop. And this is what she produced for me. So it was really easy for her. It was very standardized. She loved it. And so she plugged in content from the content drop from last month, and she wrote captions for me. She's an RD, so it was great. And then as I posted the content, I just highlighted it here. So a little bit behind in January, I was away for a while with family, so I didn't get to these, but just kind of chugging along here. And as I post them, I go ahead and highlight them. Sonia is saying, how do you move the content from the calendar to Canva? You don't. It takes you there automatically. So let's take a look, Sonia. So you're in the content calendar. Here is the shaved Brussels sprout salad video. I'm going to click on that link right here that came up, and it's going to open up Canva for me. It's all done for you. Isn't that great? Yeah, I just love it when things work out this way. So this was something that we tested. It worked out. It's great. I'm definitely going to be doing it again. Generated thousands of leads. I'm going to have a great launch in January. Okay, so let's move on to, I'm going to skip the January content drop highlights because we're running out of time. Okay, so finding content inside of the library, not so easy right now. So now we're moving on to Q&A. So for those of you who are members, hang on. If you're not a member, you can still hang on and you'll get a little sneak peek inside what we've done or what membership includes. Sonia's asking a question. I meant when you make a new one, how do you move the content from the calendar to Canva when you make a new one? Oh, so you just work in the opposite direction, Sonia. So when you have, so inside of Canva, you should have your content drop, right? So you're going to organize it. You get your content drop. You have all the links to your content. Open up what content you want to use for your social media calendar. What I recommend that you do, Sonia, is in your social media calendar, before you even start dropping content, take a look at the content drop or previous content, and plan out your themes. This day I'm going to do a culinary how-to. How to use beans, how to use nuts and seeds, whatever it is. How to make 3 different kinds of pesto. Just plug in all of the ideas that you want to generate content for. Maybe start with like 3 posts per week. Just kind of take it easy on yourself. Then go into your library and find the content. You have the link to the editable content. So what you want to do is follow that link to the template. You want to rename that template, save it to your Canva account, and then take that link and put it back into the calendar. And then all of the work moving forward that you're going to do on that piece of content, so let's say it was a Brussels sprouts video, all the work that you're doing on the caption and the branding and all of that, that link inside of your calendar is always going to take you back to that. So it works. The calendar works really nicely with Canva links. Hope that makes sense. Does this content creation calendar replace the Academy? No. Okay, Annie, I'm so sorry about access to the Academy. There was an issue on December 31st, Kajabi, and it was my fault. There was a setting in Kajabi that kicked everybody out of the Academy. They are working on re-enabling it for everybody. So you will get access to the Academy. The Academy is an 8-week course that takes you through everything in membership and how to use it. So no, this doesn't replace it, but it does follow the principles that are taught inside of the Academy, Annie. Okay, Martha is saying she can't find the content calendar. Martha, go to Instagram, find the gift box, type gift in comments. Right now, that's what you can do, and you'll get access to the calendar before I upload it to the library. So type gift in comments for that one post that I just showed you, and you're going to be good to go. So finding content in the library is not totally easy right now because Teachable search functions aren't so great. So the best way to find content, like if you're looking for something specific or on a specific topic like diabetes or menopause or weight loss, the best thing to do is to go into the category inside of Teachable. Let me show you what that looks like here. Okay, we're there now. You just go inside my library. You can't search the whole library for all of the content. You can, let's just say you want menopause content. You can type in, menopause, and the collection is going to come up. So now inside of the collection, we have a bunch of recommended content, but there's all kinds of content that can be used on menopause. So maybe you want a handout. So think about the type of content that you're looking for. Maybe it's social media, maybe it's handouts. Let's just use handouts as an example. Just click on that. And within here, you're going to use your find function on your computer. So Command F is what is used. So let's just say I want information on red meat because we want to reduce consumption of red meat, and it highlights it here. So there's one positive identification here. So just using the find function inside of the category is going to be the best way to do it now. Once we're in Kajabi, we are going to be great. Oh, Hillary, thanks for that. That's awesome. Okay, so Hillary is, oh no, that's not it, Hillary. That's a different one. That's a different one. Hillary, can you post the gift? Because StreamYard doesn't allow me to post in the Facebook group. So could you post the gift Instagram post here? That's the one that you want to use, not the January content, the one with the gift on it. That's the one where you're going to get that calendar. Okay, so finding content for now, just use the search function. Here's another one, adding meal delivery service to your meal plans. You can easily do this. I've gotten a number of emails from community members who are partnering with like local meal delivery services, which is great. And some of them do use things like, I don't know, Sunbasket. Are they still in business anymore? I don't know. But like Sunbasket or Epicure, the low FODMAP food delivery service, you actually can add meals just like you would a branded product. So if you go inside of, let's open this up. If you go inside of your dashboard, go to resources, and you'll see how to, so standard operating procedures, right? How to add a commercial product to Living Plate RX. Follow that link, and it will take you to a PDF that takes you step by step how to add a commercial product. So a commercial product could be a shake mix that you like. It could be an energy bar. It could be anything. A coconut yogurt, which was one that I added in my practice because I love using that with my vegan clients. You can add anything, and you can add a whole meal. All you're going to be doing is adding the nutrition facts label to the recipe. And again, I show you exactly how to do that. So yes, you can add meal delivery services and other branded products to your meal plans. Just follow those directions. Season-specific captions. I got this question yesterday. Somebody said, hey, I noticed in the January content drop that the mocktails referred to kind of refreshing summer drinks, right? Which is funny because it's, most of our community is in the United States. We do have some Australian dietitians, but mostly in the US. So, and it's not summer here, or nor is it hot in most of the country. So just edit it, right? So I don't, sometimes a post is going to be season specific. It might even be something like National Peanut Day. Like it might be specific that way. Just edit it. You can edit all captions using notes in Canva. So just edit that out. I don't do a lot of season specific, but you're going to see captions that refer to things like back to school meals or, summer refreshing mocktails or refreshing summer mocktails. And the mocktails we did because of dry January, obviously, right? So a lot of people are not drinking alcohol now. We wanted to give our community options to share with their clients about, making really delicious mocktails to drink in place of alcohol. Okay, so Nicole is saying, thank you for the commercial product ad. Yeah, it's really, really helpful. How do you create the gift box feature again? So fun. Oh, it's so easy. It's in Canva. Go to Canva. Oh, should I show you? Okay, we have a little time. Let's go into Canva. I'll ditch my quarterly plan. Let's just go into Elements. And I'm going to go to, let's just see, gift box and videos. Okay, so just scroll down. There's a bunch of gift box videos. The one that I had was all the way down here. But you have, there's lots of options here. There's one, another one. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. So just go to Elements and go to gift box or whatever. And here's another one. Perfect. And just scroll until you find one that you like. I mean, I scrolled a while, obviously, because the one that I used must be pretty far down. But there are a lot of really cool. Here's one that's very similar to the one that I used. Just open that up here. Oops. Delete that. Okay. Let me just make this smaller. I'll just add another page so that you can see what that looks like. Here we go. Oh. All right, I totally screwed this up. Hold on. Let's add another page here. And then you can just click on this and it'll add it into here. You can either add it as kind of an element here, or you can click and drag it in totally, and it's going to take up the whole screen. You see how that's done? And then you can just drop in your text here. Okay. All right, let's go back to our agenda. We're almost done here for today. Living Plate RX social media reflections. Oh, so I'm doing a lot of experimenting on my own at Living Plate social media account. It's just experimenting to see what's working, right? Like what's working, like from a tech point of view, what's working in terms of engagement, and all of that informs kind of our future content drops and the templates and things that we provide to you. So if you see something on the Instagram page, I'm going to show you an example because somebody's like, I can't find this post, this bone broth post here. So this post was created from the, I think it was Foods for Flu and Cold Season. So this carousel is available to members inside of the library. So we have this, but the first page, I just dropped in a video, tried something new. So that's something that you can do in your own account. So if you're seeing something and you're not really sure where it's coming from, just DM me and I will let you know kind of the base content that I used for that. Okay, when to use the bundle function. All right, this is going to be an easy one. So inside of your Living Plate RX Prime dashboard, go to, oh, actually, I'm not going to go to Prime. I'm going to go to Bundle. So here's the bundle function here. So this bundle function is really used for like group programs. So if you wanted to issue everyone in a program the same meal plan, the same signature plan or base meal plan, you can just do that here. This is really just to improve workflow. So if you had like 5 or 6 clients, you wouldn't have to enter them individually. You can just issue them all the same meal plan at the same time. Now they're each getting their own account and they're not going to see each other's meal plans. You're just like kind of mass issuing them. That's all that the bundle feature does. Otherwise, you can go into clients and just add a new client. And remember, Living Plate RX members have unlimited number of clients that they can issue meal plans for. So, if you have a group, if you have more than like 20 or 30, let me know. And our tech team can upload, if you're like doing employee wellness programs, we can upload a file for you to make it easier. But the bundles are for issuing group kind of programs all at the same time. Otherwise, you can just issue individual clients. All right, Kajabi versus Teachable. I kind of touched on this just a little bit earlier. We are migrating our entire library over to Kajabi simply because it's a better user experience. It's better for me and my team, better for you. The search functions are going to be easier. And we're really getting there. We have most of the collections actually are already in Kajabi, because that is where String Marketing is getting all of the content to publish for you guys in Practice Better and Healthy. So if you're a Practice Better or Healthy, practice management software user, you will be able to upload done for you courses, or have that done for you, no cost to you, through String Marketing. It's just a form that you have to fill out, and we load these courses for you. That is where String is getting the courses. So we've already built out a lot of the courses inside of Kajabi. And probably by the middle of February, we're going to flip the switch. You will have access to both libraries for a while, but then eventually the Teachable library is going to be history. Everything is better in Kajabi, the customer service, the experience, and everything. Hillary's saying that's awesome. Okay, great. Okay. Next is issuing plans with programs. Okay, so if you are running a program and you want to issue plans to clients, you can do that in the bundle feature, which I just showed you. You can issue individual clients, but then you can also create a promotional code. The promotional codes are located inside of your Prime tab. Go to subscription settings over here where it says edit. And you can create a code that will issue a meal plan free for a certain number of days. So if you're doing a 4-week program, maybe you want to issue 45 days or 60 days of free meal planning. Your clients will use that code on the landing page for your meal plan. Now, our software generates based on your profile picture, your information, and your logo. We generate branded landing pages for you. So it can be as simple as copying this URL, let's say the Flex plan here. You just copy that and you send this link to your clients, or you include it inside of an evergreen course and say, sign up here and use your promo code here. And they take care of the onboarding process. So what this eliminates for you is having to onboard clients to the meal plans. So that's how you issue meal plans inside of programs. Hi, Agatha, good to see you. Okay, so we are going to talk about some special events. We've got a lot of events coming this year. I'm just going to talk about the ones coming in January and February. January 24th and 26th, there's going to be a lot of communication about this. So you can just mark it in your calendars now if you want to, but you'll definitely be getting emails. You'll probably be seeing Facebook ads. If you're my ideal client, hopefully Facebook does its job. We are doing a live launch. Now, a live launch can be a lot of different things. For me, a live launch is typically a webinar or an event that I host that introduces people to me, my company, what we do, and how we serve them best to kind of alleviate a number of their problems. And so it's usually free. So we are running a free immersive 2-day workshop on the 24th and the 26th of January. It is a Tuesday and a Thursday. It is going to be very similar to the Nutrition Content Creation Academy, but really pared down, because that would be a lot to deliver in 2 days. So it's called the Content That Connects workshop. And we're going to be talking about how you create content that attracts, serves, and retains ideal clients. So really connect with your ideal clients to kind of serve them in all of those areas. So that's going to happen January 24th. 26th, it's going to be from 1 to 2:30. For those of you who work during the day and can't take off for lunch, there will be a recording, so you can watch the recording for 1 week after the event. What's really cool is that we're going to be providing pro strategy sessions as part of this live launch. So you're going to sign up for the free Content That Connects workshop. You're going to get some materials and things to work on. We're going to work together kind of as a big group. but you will have the opportunity to sign up for a pro strategy session. A pro strategy session is going to be a Zoom room. It's going to be limited to 50 people. And those 50 people are going to get access to me, and we're going to work through a lot of the materials and exercises that were presented inside of Content That Connects workshop. So you can either do it on your own, which is great, just join the free workshop and kind of work along, or you can do that and join the pro strategy sessions to kind of accelerate your progress. The strategy sessions are going to be held on the 25th, which is the Wednesday in between. And then the 31st on the following week, so that you have plenty of time. You'll have, almost a whole week to really sort it out, and then come back to the table and let's work it out. So the pro strategy sessions, that's an upsell to the free event, and that's $74. So keep your eyes open for that. If you want to join, it's open to everyone, members, non-members. So again, keep your eyes open for that. And I'll post it here, a link to the landing page here as well, so that you guys can sign up if you want. So that's our big event for January. And that's like one of my big goals and what I'm working on right now. In February, we are going to be at the Integrative Healthcare Symposium in New York City. If you are in the New York metropolitan area and or you're going to the Integrative Healthcare Symposium, which by the way is a great conference, please let me know. We are hosting a fabulous smashing party on Friday night. I'd love for any community member who is at IHS or again in the New York area, I want you to join me and be my guest. I am hosting with Fullscript, our partner Fullscript, and our other partner 3X4 Genetics. So please let me know if you're going to be there. Anybody in the New York area that might want to come, let me know. Just say, yay. Oh, Hillary, you live in New York. Yes, would love to see you. Again, we're hosting a fabulous event, and I'm in charge of putting it together. So another thing I have to put on my goal sheet. And that is the end of February. That is February 23rd, 24th. Actually, I think it's the 24th, 25th, 26th, or 23rd, 24th, 25th, one of those. So just go to Integrative Healthcare Symposium. You can check it out there. We are exhibiting there. So it'll be big for us. We're really excited. So Hillary would love, hey, Hillary, maybe you want to help me at the booth? That'd be great. Let's talk about that. I'd love to have you there. Okay. And then lastly, a little bit further ahead, but if some of you are planning, for my registered dietitian friends, today's dietitian conference, I am a core sponsor, so I will absolutely be there. And we are going, and I say we, so my partner String Marketing and I are hosting a gathering the day before, actually the morning before today's dietitian. So we have this really cool kind of bed and breakfast hotel right next door to where today's dietitian is going to be held. And we're going to hold a meetup there for, again, any of our members or anybody in the community who's watching now who wants to join us. That is in Savannah, Georgia. I am so excited because I love Savannah. And that is, unfortunately, it's a weekend of Mother's Day. I think it's May 14th, somewhere around there. I should have noted that here, but sorry. But that is today's dietitian. A little bit further ahead, but if you're planning on going and you're already booking your plane tickets, make sure you come in on Saturday night, because Sunday morning, we'd love to meet with you and love to have a conversation with you. So again, January, big live event, 24th, 25th, you're going to have the ability to sign up for a pro strategy session. If that, fulfills your need and helps you meet your goals a little bit quicker, that'd be great. I'd love to see you in there. And then February 23rd, 24th, 25th, IHS in New York City. So those are our special events. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's Mother's Day, but I'll have to celebrate with my family another time. Okay, Sonia's saying she'll come too. Great. Okay, so Lisa's saying today's dietitian conference is the 14th through the 17th. So yeah, so the morning of the 14th then, we are going to be holding a meetup. A really lovely, we have a really lovely agenda for everybody coming. So please be my guest in Savannah, Georgia. All right, thank you so much. I know we went over about 15 minutes today, but we covered a lot. At the top of the hour, we talked about being a goal getter, right? Take on a go-getter, how to create goals in an evidence-based way that you're totally familiar with. If you would like some more detailed information on that, you can, I will drop a link to the original email here. So you could just click on that, or you could go into your inbox and take a look there. You'll get access to the goal setting sheet. And then the content creation calendar. Hillary, thank you so much for dropping that here in the feed. If you haven't caught the gift box for the content creation calendar here, just go to my Instagram account, look for the gift box opening up, and you can type gift in comments and get the calendar. By the way, that whole process of having content delivered, like an opt-in delivered to somebody in comments of like Instagram and Facebook, that's very new to me. Something that I experimented with literally for like 2 days. And I'm like, I'm going in on this. It was so successful the first time I used it. I wanted to amplify it very quickly. So I hired a ManyChat expert who is constructing all kinds of things for me inside ManyChat so that I can deliver all kinds of free content to you guys. I'm actually going to have her come on in our private Facebook group and talk about it, because I think that it's something, it's a very low cost item with a very high return for all of my practitioners who are trying to reach their ideal customer avatar with really high quality content. So I will be sharing that with you. Lisa sent me an email about access to her account. I'll take a look for that, Lisa. Thank you for the reminder. Allison, can you share with us in a training on how to do that ourselves? Do what, Allison? The ManyChat? I'm not sure which, I'm talking so fast and about so many things. I'm forgetting what I just said. So Allison, let me know specifically what you're looking for on a training. Yes, if you want like kind of a brief training on ManyChat, I'm sure that I can work with Stephanie, who's a consultant that I've hired to do something cool for you guys. The ManyChat, yeah, it's Many, M-A-N-Y chat. You can Google it. There are other services that allow you to deliver content this way and to do opt-ins this way, but I really like ManyChat. It's really simple. It's really simple and it's very inexpensive. So yes, I can show you that. Maggie is saying she's looking for an easy way to get leads to sign up for IG. Yes, a big cooking event. Perfect. So Maggie, if you're doing a big cooking event in February, now is an excellent time to start creating a list. So perfect. Do something super, super high value that people can't resist, and you'll start bringing in the leads. Catherine is saying, can you tell us where to find the new table of contents? Yeah. So Catherine, I don't know if you were in the library today, but like I'm the girl who continues to write 2022 on her checks well into the next year. So when I entered the table of contents into the library, I typed in 2022. So as of like yesterday morning, there were 2 tables of contents for 2022, but I fixed it. So now there's one for 2022 and one for 2023. So Catherine, that issue has already been resolved. Yes, Healthy Digs, the automation of the comment function. Sure. Yeah, I'll do a demo of that. It's super fun. Super, super fun. I loved fiddling with it. And you know what's interesting about, and I'll just say one more thing before I go, you know, whenever I adopt a new piece of technology or a new system, I'm the kind of person who has to understand how it works before I ask somebody else to do it for me. It would drive me crazy not knowing. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it is a good idea to understand a process that you're asking somebody else to do for you. It just makes the relationship work so much better. I think it was a lot easier for Stephanie, the consultant that I've hired, to have someone in me who knew what she was doing, right? And kind of knew the process. Now she's building up very complicated ManyChat kind of webs from, it looks like a whole web when you open up the page. But I know exactly what she's trying to accomplish. And so that's really helpful to her. So I like to tinker a lot. So I got in there, I tinkered a bit, and it's not that difficult if you just want to do a simple function like I did with the gift post. Catherine, I don't see it's resolved. I just signed out and in again. Maybe you have to clear your cache. I'll check again, Catherine, as soon as we're done. Maybe just clear your cache and try again, or give me 10 minutes and I'll fix it. All right, guys, thank you again so much for joining me for this broadcast. If you have any questions, you have any questions about membership, or you just want to connect, you can DM me or on Instagram or message me on Facebook. Please join our private Facebook group, Scale Your Nutrition Practice. There's a lot of conversations going on there about how to use content to scale your practice. So thank you so much. Take care, guys.